Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Just bringing together a group of not only women business owners, but supporters.
There's work to be done. Female business owners come together ahead of International Women's Day.
There was zero help, zero diagnosis, zero support.
Living with lymphedema, breast cancer survivors raise awareness about the painful condition.
I was never supposed to become an author, so it was just a project.
And published author, this 10-year-old from New Brunswick just released his first book and has 4 more on the way.
A cold but mostly clear Friday evening. Temperatures rise as some wet weather moves in this weekend.
Live from the Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, Give to Gain. Hundreds of female entrepreneurs and leaders came together today to network and celebrate achievements in business. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us, ahead of International Women's Day this Sunday, it was also an opportunity to recognize trailblazers and the importance of raising other women up. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Maria. That's right. And the sold-out event gave women in different walks of life the chance to celebrate each other's paths to success and recognize how far they've come. From CEOs to directors, entrepreneurs to the heads of nonprofits, this Women in Business conference was packed with powerful female leaders.
It was amazing. I was nervous at first coming, but I felt good afterwards.
The sold-out event brought 450 women to Halifax. This year's theme is Give to Gain.
Women don't get the credit or the notoriety that they deserve. They may be small business, but they still give back to the economy. You know, they give back to their communities. They're raising families. And so it's so important to make sure that people are aware of the impact that women business owners have right here in Nova Scotia.
Daring them to step out of their comfort zone and connect with others face to face.
I was here last year as a vendor and then got offered back this year to speak. I jumped on it because I told myself I was going to come out of my comfort zone this year, and this was the opportunity to do so.
Many shared stories of breaking down barriers, something business owner Fatou Kaba knows a thing or two about. She was the first of over 20 siblings to attend college and earn a master's degree.
I have every reason to be here because this is all about empowering women, creating a community where we support each other, we show up for each other, and we just celebrate the power of being women.
Princess Octavius owns a beauty store in Halifax, which she says wouldn't be possible without the help of women in this room.
Especially as a black woman in a new province starting my business at the time, I had no one to turn to.
Ahead of International Women's Day, she has a message for women looking to take on a similar journey.
Don't give up. Whatever it is, your dream, whatever that is your passion, your calling, start the business. You will find your community and your support system. And whatever it is that you are doing, there's always someone in need that will benefit from it.
Well, the event has become one of the largest International Women's Day gatherings in Atlantic Canada. They hope to inspire young women to take on a career in business and become the next generation of leaders. Maria.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Vanessa. CTV's Vanessa Wright for us in the newsroom, and happy International Women's Day to you coming up on Sunday. All right, let's head over to the anchor desk now where Todd Battis is standing by, and it's turned into a very busy Friday afternoon.
It has, and a very happy day on the weekend to you too, Maria.
Thank you.
Yes, gas prices, everybody's talking about it, right? In the Maritimes, they increased overnight. This after previous increases on Wednesday and Thursday. And what's more, it's all going to go up again tonight at midnight in all 3 provinces because of the interrupter clause. We will talk about what's driving this at 6 o'clock. New Brunswick's opposition party is calling on the government to launch an investigation on nursing home safety. Now, this comes after a man was arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting 15 seniors in a long-term care home. And an advocate for seniors says the provincial government should be more active on this file. We will get some details for you at 6 o'clock. Now, this just in, nearly a year after a cybersecurity breach impacting tens of thousands of Nova Scotia Power customers, a cyber hack to report tonight at Halifax Water. In an email a few minutes ago, the utility says it has temporarily shut down its customer contact online portal as it carries out an investigation. We'll bring in Bruce Frisco for whatever details we have on this for you at the top of 6 o'clock. Right now, let's bring in CTV meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell. Weather feeling chilly, but boy, it's bright and sunny.
Yeah, it was nice to have the sunshine today, but you're absolutely right. It was another colder early March day. Remains that way now as we're heading towards the evening. Most temperatures in the Maritimes are sitting at least a few degrees below the freezing mark, with a few exceptions. Right around the southwest of New Brunswick, St. Stephen sitting at 3 degrees this hour, and Yarmouth in the southwest of Nova Scotia sitting at +1. There's also some colder areas, including up in the north of New Brunswick. We're near Charlotte right now. It's around -7. In Prince Edward Island, -7 at Summerside, -5 at Charlottetown. In the east of Nova Scotia, weather station near Tracadie, so that's in Antigonish County, around -8 at the moment, and in Cape Breton, -5 at Sydney and -7 at Shettycamp. Taking a look at the winds, they're a little bit variable in direction at the moment, mostly on the lighter side. There's a few winds around coastal areas of Nova Scotia, sustained between 15 and 30 kilometers per hour. A couple gusts being reported there as well, near 28 kilometers per hour at Yarmouth, as well as the weather station located near Shelburne. Over on radar and satellite, as we make our way through this evening, there's going to be some clear skies, but a little bit of increasing cloudiness coming in during the night, and that is ahead of some light rain, some showers, and some fog in the weekend forecast, though initially, first thing in the morning, maybe cold enough that there'll be some freezing rain in parts of New Brunswick, and because of that, a freezing rain warning has been issued for that part of the Maritime. Should be a very light freezing rain and only persist for about maybe 3 to 6 hours at most, but it could lead to some icy spots first thing in the morning. I will have more in the forecast a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you in just a bit. Right now, though, a homeowner in Ontario recently won a furnace upgrade to replace an old unit that lasted for decades. As CTV's Pat Foran reports, they just don't make them like they used to.
At this home in Bowmanville, the owner is getting a brand new furnace installed for free after winning a contest. Buttons Heating and Air Conditioning had the idea to find the oldest working furnace in Durham region.
We thought we'd try to find one lucky person with the oldest furnace out there to enjoy a new furnace.
There were plenty of entries. The fourth runner-up was a furnace 49 years old, third place 55 years old, and second place 60 years old. But the winner of the oldest working furnace was 69 years old. It took 4 people to get the hefty unit out of the house and into a van. Owner Doug Bothwell doesn't remember a time without it.
So this furnace has been here most of your life?
Maybe all my life, this furnace, yeah.
Bothwell says despite its age, it never gave his family any issues.
I don't recall us ever having any troubles whatsoever. Not one. Like, it just ran and ran.
The new Daikin furnace he received should save him hundreds of dollars a year on his utility bills.
This is going to be significantly more efficient than that old beast he had. They're going to save a ton in hydro and significantly in gas as well.
Most new furnaces are expected to last 15 to 20 years with proper maintenance, but they use more electronics and sensors, making them harder to repair. Button says older models had fewer moving parts and were less likely to break down.
I guess it's one of those things, they don't build them like they used to, right? And it was purring like a kitten when we came here. I was just in shock, just the way it was still working.
Even though it was still heating his home and running smoothly, Bothwell says when offered a modern furnace, he had no thoughts of keeping the old one.
Not really, but, you know, I can't complain about it all. You know, I can't. Like, let's just hope this one's half as good. That'll be great.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
69 years old. Wow. You got your money's worth on that one. Time for a break. Here's a preview of our next story.
I'm Stephanie Seacoast. Coming up on CTV News at 5, raising awareness. It's World Lymphedema Day, and we'll hear from a Nova Scotia woman who learned of her diagnosis after surviving breast cancer. That story is still ahead on CTV News at 5.
We're Give to Live. Our mission is to inspire you to live happy and healthy lives through generosity, fitness, and achieving the extraordinary. Join us and support our charities. Get inspired at givetolive.ca and achieve your extraordinary.
Welcome back. It's World Lymphedema Day, and for the first time ever, a flag was raised in Halifax to mark the occasion. As CTV's Stephanie Seacos reports, while the disease can impact anyone, breast cancer survivors are more likely to be diagnosed.
It's a painful disease that affects more than 1 million Canadians, including Erica Fleck.
Pain, swelling. I started to get swelling in my legs, but my right arm is the one that still, it gets painful very quickly if I don't get treated.
The former emergency management director for Halifax Regional Municipality was diagnosed nearly 10 years ago with lymphedema after she beat breast cancer.
You know, I will say through cancer, so much support here. Like the medical system was absolutely amazing. But when I got to the lymphedema part and trying to figure out what was going on, there was zero help, zero diagnosis, zero support.
Lymphedema is swelling that happens when lymph fluid builds up in the soft tissues of an arm or leg. 1 in 4 breast cancer survivors develop the condition.
I had to pay out of pocket for a very long time until I could get insurance to cover it. So I was really lucky, but there are a lot of people, especially women, who can't afford it. Compression garments are not covered. Treatment is not covered here.
There is no cure, but there are ways to treat it.
Manual lymphatic drainage is something that decreases pain. It moves the fluid that might be building up in their limbs and just assists them in having a better quality of life, more comfort, less pain.
Lynn Gray has worked as a manual lymphatic drainage therapist for 30 years and has helped countless patients.
Sometimes it can get out of control to the point that they don't leave their home. The limb is too heavy to move. They can't work anymore. Their self-esteem goes down.
To mark World Lymphedema Day, a flag raising was held at Halifax City Hall for the first time, a step toward getting the disease more recognition.
There's so much more that we can do to open people's eyes and just make them aware.
While it is a lifelong diagnosis, it can be managed with support. Stephanie Seacos, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Stephanie, raising an important point indeed. All right, Caitlin Mitchell joins us now, and we're talking about the weather. It's been a chilly day, but you're telling me things are going to warm up a little bit?
Temperatures going to be headed the other direction as we make our way through this weekend into the start of next week. However, remember, there is that risk of some freezing rain in New Brunswick first thing tomorrow morning. It was pleasant enough this afternoon if you were dressed for the cold here at Fraser's Lake in Timberlea, Nova Scotia. I'll have more on the weekend forecast coming up next.
Today, all proceeds from our ice cream sales go to Canadian Mental Health. So if you come in and support that, have an ice cream and have a chat with us, and it's a great cause.
How about some ice cream for a good cause? It's Moo Let's Talk Day, and Cow's Ice Cream is marking the occasion with special scoops all day. As you just heard, 100% of the proceeds will go to support Canadian Mental Health Association and Nova Scotia programs. They're serving up the fundraiser right across the country until 8 p.m. this evening, including at the Cable Wharf location in Halifax. That's a tasty fundraiser right there, Kaylin. A reason to stop by. Even if it's a little chilly, ice cream, it's always a good time for ice cream, in my opinion.
Darn, I'll have to buy some Cow's ice cream.
Yeah, darn it.
Shucks. I have to really pull my arm on that one. Yeah, Cow's ice cream is great no matter what the temperature is outside. Yeah. Of course, it was a colder day today around the region, including, as we take a look at our sunrise in sunset times in St. John, New Brunswick. Oh, look, we got a seal.
Look at him go.
Through the water. Temperature doesn't seem to be bothering him too much, although actually the water was probably a bit warmer than the air temperature was today. Certainly that would be the case in around the St. John area. Taking a look there at our sunrise and sunset times, let's take a look at what's going on our weather systems map. We have high pressure in place for all 3 maritime provinces, sitting above 1,030 millibars at Fredericton, Charlottetown, and Halifax International. There's a sprawling low pressure system, though, stretching from the southern U.S. all the way up towards the midwestern U.S., and now part of the weather fronts with the system making their way over the Great Lakes. Part of that is heading our direction for this weekend. It's mostly some periods of light rain and fog expected, especially late on Saturday into Saturday night and Sunday. But there is a risk of some freezing rain for parts of New Brunswick first thing in the morning, because tonight the temperatures are still cold before they really begin that rising trend. So taking a look at things on radar right now, not much to show you. If you're headed out there for Friday evening plans, you're headed out to maybe just a few clouds around. Temperatures, though, still on the colder side. And then as we make our way through the night, there'll start to be some increase in cloudiness, especially for western areas of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia. Then tomorrow morning, that's when we've got that risk of some light freezing rain making its way across the St. Lawrence River Valley in Quebec and across the state of Maine. It's showing up here through those pink colors. And the next stop would be parts of New Brunswick, especially up and around the northwest. There is a risk of about 3 to 6 hours of some relatively light freezing rain, but maybe enough to turn surfaces slippery and icy. Think about things like driveways and walking paths, parking lots, maybe even some roads in some spots. Moving into the afternoon, though, temperature should come up enough that will just turn over to some lighter rain, maybe a little bit of drizzle and fog, and there's also potential for some drizzle or some lighter rain around Prince Edward Island and parts of Nova Scotia for the afternoon. Later Saturday evening and Saturday night, though, there'll be another round of light rain that comes across the Maritimes, accompanied by some fog, and this looks like it's going to linger actually into Sunday. So some showers holding on to the forecast for New Brunswick on Sunday, and for Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia on Sunday, still some light rain and some drizzle. Winds in the forecast for tonight become south and southeast by the time we get to around midnight, and then tomorrow's winds become southwest for the region, and they pick up a little bit, so they become blustery in the afternoon with some gusts between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for the Maritimes will be mostly falling again several degrees below the freezing mark, and some still down to the minus double digits, especially around the east of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Tomorrow's high temperatures, though, get back onto the plus side of the scale. 4 to 7 degrees in New Brunswick, up to around 5 degrees for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, and between 5 and 9 degrees for Nova Scotia. And in some cases, temperatures will continue to rise, maybe another degree or two, moving through Saturday night and into Sunday. Talked about Sunday's forecast a little bit. Some showers for New Brunswick, some lingering rain, drizzle, and fog for Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, but temperatures climb a little bit further, and a lot of high temperatures for the end of the weekend will be between 7 and 11 degrees. Monday and Tuesday of next week as well, looking like they'll be on the milder side. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 6-year-old Amelia Jarvis of Halifax. Amelia sent us a drawing featuring 2 seasons. The first, you can see there on the left, is a warm spring day, and the second, big snowbanks in the winter. Thank you, Amelia. That's very appropriate considering March is a transition season. Weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria, I meant to say, of course, that March is a transition month, moving from winter to spring.
Of course, of course. Thank you, Caitlin. So a slew of sea lions has moved in and staked a claim to a beachfront property on Vancouver Island's Deep Bay. As CTV's Andy Garland shows us, people can't get enough of them.
Their sound echoes.
From a ways away, you could hear them.
They sound like man's best friend. And people up and down Vancouver Island have come to this Deep Bay beach to see who or what all the noise was about.
It's something else. I had no idea that they came here every year.
I've been watching it on Facebook, and I've never been this close to sea lions.
A mix of Stellar and California sea lions have set up camp here, mostly for rest and relaxation, all the while thinking about their next meal.
I think they're discussing when the fish are coming. Yeah, probably their full bellies, right? All that herring, I guess.
It's the annual Pacific herring spawn, and sea lions are opportunistic feeders.
It's kind of the first big feast of the season after a long, hard winter, and that's when the herring are coming in near shore to spawn.
Pacific Wild advocates government to legislate change to better protect our ecosystems and says the invasion of sea lions is totally normal to see.
It's actually a good indication that there is enough herring to be supporting these predators and fulfilling their role in the ecosystem.
But Pacific Wild would like to see a temporary moratorium on the herring fishery to help recover this valuable resource.
I want people to know that giving respect for herring and protecting them, not just viewing them as a resource, is really, really critical for the entire coast.
Back in Deep Bay, the sea lions will continue to call this home until the herring are all gone.
They're probably talking about how lucky they are to live on Vancouver Island.
Andy Garland, CTV News, Deep Bay.
Thank you very much. Time for our final break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, read all about it in this story.
Hi, I'm Richard Kindeji. I'm 10 years old, and this is my first book, Navigating Through Life Real Story. We'll have more on the character and the book at 5 at CTV News.
Welcome back. So most New Brunswick students spent the last week taking time off of the books. But as CTV's Avery McRae reports, the 10-year-old you're about to meet spent his March break reading books and writing them too.
Richard Akindeji is like most 10-year-olds. He loves sports and spending time with his friends, but unlike his classmates, Richard is a published author.
I actually finished the project at 9, but then I got it published at 10.
His short story, Navigating Through Life Frill's Story, is about growing up in Fredericton and facing challenges with his best friend.
They had smooth sailing until some issues happened emotionally with family. So when that happens, they have to get each other's trust back and friendship back, and they even get special missions.
He says the inspiration for the story came from his father, friend Felix, and former teacher, Madame Boyce.
She told me, if you ever write a book, I'd like to be your first customer. And when she said that, I just had a thought in mind, like, wow, I want to see if I can do that.
The 27-page tale is not a one-off. Richard is working on part 2 and has plans for more stories.
I just spin a wheel. Whatever project that comes on, I just write about it, maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and then when I'm done, just take a break. Maybe I sometimes add 11 other minutes, so because sometimes there's a flow in my brain, and when the time's up, you just want to keep going.
Richard's first book is available on Amazon in paperback, hardcover, and for e-readers, and he is working on getting his story into local outlets too, like Indigo. As for the takeaways the author hopes people remember from his book:
responsibility, friendship, how to be strong. The main thing is that when life throws struggles at you, you can't do anything about it. The only thing you can do is how you react to it.
Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
That's some really good advice from a wise and accomplished young man at 10 years old, already an author.
I'm going to remember the 11-minute trick. I'm going to add that in my workflow for the day.
Just love that. Great story to end the week with. How's the weekend looking, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, temperatures headed up this weekend, but there is a little bit of wet weather in it. Of course, we do have a couple of freezing rain warnings in effect for parts of New Brunswick. So we're recapping that and then getting into the extended forecast next week, looking at a couple of very mild days, Monday and Tuesday.
We'll see you at 6. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. The national news is next.